Excuse me. Good morning, people. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. Yes, yeah, this is my second video. I did a live stream already, uh, and a couple of hours ago, but yeah, I couldn't sleep, and so I was trying to find a video. I had liked a video, and it's like one of those. And I went to try to find it, and I couldn't find it, either of them. But I was just thumbing through my liked videos, and I came across this video. I don't even remember watching it, but I had to see it because it was in my like folder. And I was listening to the whole thing, and I came across a portion. It's towards the end of the video, and it's entitled, so you can look at yourself, Esau, Super Soldiers, Michael Prince, and Max Spears. Okay, and that's the person's channel, GMS um, Helmet of Salvation. Okay, oops. So that's who uploaded it, and it was dated, 2014. So this is an old video, and I started getting interested in the subject of super soldiers in 2016, and I think that's when I saw this one. So I didn't see when this individual uploaded it on YouTube. So I want to share with you a portion of it, and I show this for educational purposes and commentary on a particular portion of this video. Okay, it's a small segment, about 3 minutes long. Okay, um, this is about. I think this is very telling. And again, this was uploaded sometime in 2014. And yes, today's date is May 11, 2022. And the time right now is about 6:12 a.m. in the morning. Okay. I think this is very important. Recently, I've been watching and being referred to videos regarding the Back to Africa movement. And I did comment on it, I think, earlier last week, just some concerns I have about it. Yeah, this week and last week, yeah, for the past couple of weeks, I've been very focused on the subject. And these men, Max Spears and Michael, yeah, he's Michael Prince, he's Max Spears, but it was him in particular that made mention about his information on black people. And again, this is an interview. Both of these men are what they call super soldiers. They work stealth. Used to work for stealth in doing things in the government. They're like a people work. I want to be careful with the terminology, but they were given permission to discuss certain aspects and not others. And so I want to share with you what I was wondering about. Wondering about the Back to Africa movement, especially because one of the people that were talking about a prior video, these black men were talking about it, and he shared that he is in a fraternity and he got branded, and that was a red flag for me. Remember I did it a couple of videos ago. I talked about that, as a warning, like, hey, I don't understand. He's a member of of an organization. He didn't give the name, but just that he was a member, and I was concerned. And to be branded is really a mark of slavery. So here, a fraternity is branding people, members, I should say, and it didn't sit right with me. But listen to this. Let's find it here. Okay, I put at the spot where they're gonna discuss it. Okay, yeah. Also, who's interviewing them is Kerry Cassidy. Kerry Cassidy is been in what they call the Truth Movement, and she interviews people regarding this super soldiers, whistleblowers, things like that. Hey, good morning, Asa. Yeah, yeah. This one, it's not intended to be a long video. This, but let me share this with you. Okay. Oh, let me also put it. Oh, let me just go ahead with it. Yeah. Okay. Let me just press the button. It's just gonna. I'm gonna play something. Again, this guy here is gonna talk about blacks and going to back to Africa. Okay. Listen very carefully.
The Fourth Reich essentially is going to keep socially engineering these situations, like the Helter Skelter, the Manson in the 60s, the LA riots. Things will keep happening because they want to reduce the population, so they need to start with target groups.
Okay, and what about the notion that they're going to do it with things like earth changes and with causing, with the chemtrails, and basically they're killing people in essence with the radiation, chemtrails, and disease.
That's Kerry Cassidy, the interviewer.
They maybe want to spread disease, and then even I've heard that there will be some bombings in prime cities here in the U.S. Have you heard any of that?
Well, I mean, that stuff's obviously going on every month now, the terrorist acts, and it's all orchestrated.
Actually, what I meant by that was something a lot bigger than what happened in Boston.
Well, back in Africa, I was friends with some SAS guys who were Rhodesian infantry people before they were involved with the SAS. They talked about bioengineered race weapons in Africa, put in the wells, which would only kill the blacks and wouldn't affect the whites. So there'll be, that sort of things, the chemtrails, bioengineered race weapons.
Okay, well, let me throw something a bit strange up at you. I recently heard that there was, that we gave away Africa to a group of an incoming race of beings. Have you heard about that?
I've heard different things to do with Africa and the direction of Africa in the future. I've heard there's social engineering programs where they're trying to encourage African Americans to go back to Africa and give them property and housing.
Hear that?
And there's one really big one. It was even in the mainstream media. I forget what it was called now. But there's this big movement to get the blacks back to Africa, and I don't know if they're.
I've never heard of that.
I mean, I forget the name of this thing now. They were going to give them property and tax rebates and things like that, because there was even the Muslim movement. Even the blacks themselves in their own community, there's a big movement to say we don't really belong in America, we should go back to our homeland. And a lot of Africans who I talk to say that themselves. They say, I've never felt welcome here, I'd love to go back to Africa, I'd love to go back to my roots. There's definitely movements to kind of trigger that. So I'm not sure. I mean, I've heard they're going to try and get them back there and nuke Africa. I've heard they're going to try and get them back there and then sell them to incoming extraterrestrial races. So it could be connected to what you mentioned.
Okay, so, but in your positions, like it's sort of as super soul.
You hear that? Did you hear that? Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Because remember I talked about this just a couple of videos ago, that something didn't sit right with me regarding some of the people that go on online about going to Africa, and that this whole dilemma that's been happening for the past 2 years with the riots here, that that's when a lot of the people were leaving. When you go on the internet on the subject of people, expats, and when you listen to the blacks that left, that were being interviewed, and a lot of them say they left in 2020. So this is really something. And this guy has access to information. Again, the guy that spoke, his name is Michael Prince. Okay? So you can just look up this video. It's over an hour long. This is just a snippet. Okay? That's the name of the video. So if you want to hear the whole interview, the whole interview is just about random subjects, about them as super soldiers. But the one who shared that information just now, his name is Michael Prince. And I don't even remember hearing that. Okay? Let me put it back. Yeah. So this guy here, he's one that gave the information. And in his line of work as a super soldier and going different places, different assignments, he has privy to information. And my concern that I mentioned a couple of videos ago was that when I learned that one of the guys specifically said that he was a member of a fraternity, and he had gotten branded on his body, I think in his chest, that it made me feel that they're like on an assignment. They don't just do things when you're a member and like that. Everything you do is calculated. You don't just do because you're bored, because everything you do has to be under the agreement and plan of these organizations. That's my understanding. And so why be a part of this thing? Why get branded? Is that freedom? That's what they used to do to the slaves, brand them. So you're going to go to a fraternity, get branded, and then you're interested in going back to Africa to live and encourage other black people to go back. And as you said, as you heard in the video, in his own words, I see we got more people out there. I should play it again. Let me see if I could play it again.
Something a bit strange out at you. I recently heard that there was that we gave away Africa to a group of an incoming race of beings. Have you heard about that?
I've heard different things to do with Africa and the direction of Africa in the future. I've heard there's social engineering programs where they're trying to encourage African Americans to go back to Africa and give them property and housing back there. And there's one really big one that was even in the mainstream media. I forget what it was called now. But there's this big movement to get the blacks back to Africa, and I don't know if they're.
I've never heard of that.
I forget the name of this thing now. They were going to give them property and tax rebates and things like that, because there was even the Muslim movement. even the blacks themselves in their own community, there's a big movement to say we don't really belong in America, we should go back to our homeland. And a lot of Africans who I talk to say that themselves. They say, I've never felt welcome here, I'd love to go back to Africa, I'd love to go back to my roots. There's definitely movements to kind of trigger that. So I'm not sure. I mean, I've heard they're going to try and get them back there and nuke Africa. I've heard they're going to try and get them back there and then sell them to incoming extraterrestrial races. So it could be connected to what you mentioned.
Okay, so, but in your position...
Okay, isn't that something? He said in the end, he mentioned about bioweapons specifically targeting certain ethnic groups, including black people. And so they want to relocate blacks to go back to Africa and then exterminate us. So if all, and it'd be to their advantage, because see, if blacks leave and they leave their wealth behind here, their property, whatever, so the property will be given to somebody else. And if you kill them, over in Africa, they don't have anything. And then they said about selling them to extraterrestrials. Did you hear that part? Extraterrestrials. So it's a reason for everything. That it's happening for a reason. There's a surge, and he said that it was a social engineering thing. And he's correct. This video, let me show you. This video was uploaded. Let me show you. See that? It was uploaded December 13, 2014. It is now May 11th, 2022. Okay, so this was quite a while ago. Okay, and he's mentioning what's happening now. His name is Max Spears. I'm sorry, my mistakes. Michael Prince. My mistake. His name is Michael Prince, and he is doing this interview with Kerry Cassidy. She's a researcher. She interviews what they call whistleblowers, and this interview that was at least uploaded. This interview was uploaded in 2014, but when it was actually done, that I don't know. But it was uploaded 2014. It's now 2022. And what this man is talking about is what's happening now. There are a lot of videos online, Black Americans, blacks living in the Americas, moving back to Africa. And again, he's mentioning that there was a social engineering. Wouldn't that social engineering also include what happened to George Floyd and all those other people? Wouldn't that make sense? To do this, to trigger, the race wars and all that, and to finally piss us off, to go back to Africa, and once you get there, to destroy us there. This is very important information. And again, I did a video a couple of days ago, and I made mention about my concern about this guy being a member of a black fellow being a member of a fraternity who was branded by that fraternity, and him discussing and encouraging blacks to move back to Africa. And I'm thinking, someone of organizations like that, they don't just do, he's not like a renegade person. They do things on assignment. And these organizations, in my opinion, that who do they really represent? These black fraternities or Greek letters, when they pay their money, where does that money go? It goes to the white fraternities. That's where it goes. So you're paying a black fraternity. That money is going to go trickle down to one of those white fraternities or Masons groups, and they have assignments. I don't trust anybody in a fraternity. I don't. And I did say that in the other video. I just have it's like a red flag to me. Because they're not, they don't have allegiance to the group they're supposed to represent. They represent the agenda. And the agenda is social engineering to control and remove people. So I'm very thankful to have found this video and share it with people you know, and that they could watch this video that's on YouTube. This is the name, Esau Super Soldiers, Michael Prince and Max Spears, and it's by GMS Helmet of Salvation, December 13, 2014, okay? Yeah, they talk about all different subjects. So I just shared a snippet of it, and the snippet was ended at the 1 hour and 18 minutes and 57 seconds. And you see the video is 1 hour and 21 minutes and looks like 17 seconds. But I played it for you at the 1 minute 16 integer. Oops. Boy, just went, sorry about that. Let me just, yeah. Sorry about that. Sometimes the screen goes dark. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this information. Yeah, share this video with other people who you think might find that information informative. It's very informative. Because what's happening now, it's what's happening. The movement to go back to Africa. And ask those guys that you see that's going there and promoting it. Ask them, hey, are you a member of a fraternity or sorority? Are you familiar with what's going on? Why they want you here? Just go ask them, okay? So I thank you for listening. Yeah, I didn't want to stay on long. Yeah, I already did an interview earlier today. So, yeah, just think ahead of time why things are being done, and some things aren't in your best interest. But again, it's what you like. It's what's good for you. And just be aware, okay? Thank you again. Yes, you can write your comments below. Yeah, I'd like to know your comments on something like this. Yeah, and share it. Take care, guys. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.